All right, hello everyone. Uh, so for our practice today, as far as props go, definitely have something you can use like a strap. That could be a towel, it could be a scarf, a belt, a dog leash, a tie. You can get creative with what you have at home as usual. And then a couple of other optional props because we're going to work with some variations of pigeon, maybe. If pigeon you know already doesn't work for you because of knee, hip, or ankle stuff, definitely have alternatives for that. But in our pigeon pose, if we're going to take it, I'm going to give you the option to use a cushion. So that could be a couch cushion or some pillows or even a stack of blankets. And then always, if you have blocks at home, those are welcome. And in the absence of blocks, hardback books work, a stool works, more cushions work. So again, like all of the props that you want around you, start to gather them up. The one we're going to work with first is our strap, towel, scarf, dog leash, whatever it is you're going to use. And once you have that in hand, we'll go ahead and lay back. I'm using a little folded blanket underneath the back of my head because we're going to be on our back for at least the first half of our class today. So if you want to pad the back of the head, that might be nice. Just take a few moments here to settle in. You can either stretch the legs out long, or you could bend the knees and plant the feet. If you've got the knees bent and you want a little length to the low back, you can walk the feet wide on your mat and let the knees knock in towards one another. As you settle into your back, just start to shrug the shoulders down the back body, away from the ears. You might slightly tilt the chin towards the chest to lengthen out the back of the neck. Place your hands wherever they're comfortable. You can stretch the arms out wide. You can place the hands on the body. What feels intuitive today? Sometimes I like to think about the energetics of the hands in terms of palms facing up. Might be an invitation to receive whatever it is that you need to receive, or an invitation to invite in something that you would like more of in your life. And then palms facing down, the energetics of the palms facing down is more an invitation to ground and settle. So if you feel you have a lot of like frenetic energy, you're kind of go, 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 and you really want to settle that. Palms facing down, maybe connecting to the body, is believed to be conducive to that. Let's just start to take the awareness to the breath. Maybe close your eyes if you like. And notice how it feels to breathe in your body today. See if you can lengthen out the breath, a little bit more air on both inhale and exhale. You can stick with that style of deep breathing, or you could add a little bit more of a rhythm to it in terms of counting. We've been practicing this throughout the past few weeks. It's a 4-3-7 breath count. So that means you find your own personal count of 4 to inhale. When you're at the top of that inhale, you pause for 3 counts. And then see if you can exhale all the air out for 7 counts. So 4 count inhale, 3 count pause, 7 count exhale. And that's just an option. It's definitely not required. And it's important that you learn how to count your own breath because it might be different than my rhythm. Might be quicker, might be slower, so find what works for you in terms of timing. And if we're finding that cycle of breathing, the 4-3-7, try it twice more. If you're just continuing with those deep, slow breaths, also twice more. And then the next time you exhale, let go of any counting, let go of any retention. Just let your breath return to neutral without any real control. Just kind of let it be this passive background occurrence. We'll reach for our strap. You might have to start off by bending the knees and planting the feet here if they weren't already there. We're going to loop up the ball mound of the right foot into the strap. And then if you want here, it just depends, sometimes on the low back, but you could extend that left leg long. Be mindful with your choice. Know that you can always rebend that left knee and plant the foot. Let this be more about how it feels on the back of the right leg. If you want to, you could walk your hands up the strap towards the foot, but do see if you can let the shoulders be heavy in their sockets. A little softness in the grip on the hands. Let the shoulders, the back of the head, the whole spine be heavy into whatever you're lying on. Let's take about 4 deep breaths here. And then for the last 2 breath cycles here, you might really flex those toes towards your face, the right toes and the left toes, pressing through both heels. Especially if that left leg is long and it's flat on the mat and the right heel is pressing up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to get a little bit more sensation to the back of the leg. Again, legs do not need to be straight, but see if you can feel this along the back of the leg. And then let's start to take both ends of our strap into our right hand. That left arm, it can stretch off to the left, or the left hand can rest on that left hip. We're going to turn those right toes out to the side. You might bend your right elbow, let the elbow rest on the floor. That right leg doesn't need to get anywhere in terms of getting close to the floor. Just let yourself feel sensation along the inner border of your right leg. Let your left hip remain flat. And when I say flat, I mean let it rest on the mat. And let's take about 4 to 5 breaths here. Use a little bit of your core strength. Press the foot into the strap. So try not to be super limp in that right leg as you bring it back up through center. We're going to pass the strap into the left hand. Right arm can reach off to the right side. And then you're taking this right leg across the body towards the left, any amount here. And it might be that you come all the way over into a twist, if that feels good. And if you're coming into your twist, can you let both of your shoulder blades remain on the mat, chest open towards the ceiling? And let the hips be the thing that turn off to the left-hand side instead of the shoulders. You can also work with the IT band, outer border of that right leg, and that might mean that you're just kind of taking like more of a 45-degree angle of the right leg across the body. So finding what feels good to you. Where do you need a little bit of stretch sensation? Where do you need a little bit of length today? Where can you find something that you can hold for the next 4 to 5 breaths. And then with a little bit of that core strength, a little bit of pressure of the foot into the strap, start to come back up through center. We'll release the strap, or you could keep using it. We're going to come into a half happy baby on this right side. So bending the right knee towards the armpit. Just a few more breaths here on this right side, and then we'll switch sides. If you're still in half happy baby, start to release out of that. Let that right leg either extend long, or you can bend both of the knees and plant both of the feet. Let's just take a moment here to pause. Even though you know you're going to do your second side, can you stay with me? Take 1 minute here to pause. Nothing to do, just let yourself be. Completely relax on your back. Deep breath in and out through the nose if you can. And we're going to start to set up for our second side. And here, if you'd like, sometimes it's easier to bend both knees and plant the feet to start off. Then loop up the ball mound of the left foot. And then if you want to, from here, re-extend that right leg forward, you can. And so we're going to spend some time here in a neutral position with the hips. So they're just resting in their hip sockets as they would as if you were just standing up. Looking for some sensation along the back of the left leg in particular. A little bit, soften your grip. Can you let your shoulders be heavy, back of the head resting, whole spine completely relaxed. About 4 more breaths here. Remember this left leg, the one that's in the air, it doesn't have to be straight. Even if you're bending your knee, you might feel sensation in the back of the leg. So leg does not need to be straight. Let's start to pass the straps into the left hand. We're going to take this left leg off to the side, off to the left side first. You can bend that left elbow, let it rest on the floor. Right hand can rest on the hip, or it can stretch out to the side. Just gently remind yourself that you really don't need to get anywhere with this shape. It doesn't matter how close the leg gets to the floor. It doesn't mean anything about you being good or bad at yoga. Can you just let yourself feel sensation where you feel it without judging it? And you relax your jaw, muscles of the face. Let's take 4 to 5 deep breaths here. A little bit press that foot into the strap, a little bit engage the core. Let's see how some integrity as you come back through center. I'm going to take the strap into the right hand. Left arm could reach off to the left. Start to rotate that left foot towards the right side. Maybe it's that 45-degree angle if you want more of the outer edge of the leg. If you want a little bit more rotation through the spine, you can come into your twist. But remember, try not to sacrifice the shoulders here. Right, so I mean by that is let the shoulders be heavy if you're coming into your twist. Let the leg just come over as far as it does while maintaining the chest open towards the ceiling and the shoulders in contact with the floor or whatever you're lying on. Four to five deep breaths here. When you're ready to come out, pressing the foot into the strap a little bit, engage the core if you can. Option to keep the strap for that half happy baby. You can walk the hands up towards the foot, pull that left knee wide towards the left armpit. If you don't need the strap here, of course you can let it go and set it off to the side. You can just cup the foot. A few breaths here. Let's release out of our half happy baby. If we're still there, take that 1 minute pause in between sides. Nothing to do, just let yourself be, rest, receive any sensation, whether it be a new sensation, a dull, achy kind of, oof, those muscles are sore kind of a sensation. Or kind of like a new sense of energy, blood flow, kind of tingling. Just notice what you feel. All right, if your legs are stretched out, you could bend the knees. You know, actually, since we're all on our backs here right now, I'm going to give us option number 1 for this pigeon variation, which would be figure 4. So right away, if you know that any kind of extreme rotation of the knee joint or weight towards that knee junction is problematic for you, take figure 4 on your back. So we'll start with that right ankle on top of the left thigh. You can stay here in your figure 4. Of course, you can pull it in close to the body if you want a little bit more sensation towards the outer right thigh. Okay, so that's option number 1, figure 4 on your back. Option number 2, you can sit upright, take a classical half pigeon. If you want to try this variation that I was mentioning at the beginning of class using our bolster, you would need your couch cushion or a few pillows, something that's going to provide a little bit of height and density. And again, we're starting with the right foot forward. In this version of supported half pigeon, I like to use support underneath the chest. So as I bring my right foot forward, maybe I slide some hardback books or blocks at home if I have them, or another set of pillows. Heel toe that right foot off to the right side. So see how this cushion's bisecting my hips? Just like I would set up for pigeon, I'm going to lay the outer edge of the right leg down. I'm going to wiggle that left leg back in space. And so now my hips are just a little bit supported and lifted by the bolster. Top of the left hip flexor, outer right thigh. And then I might stack some kind of props underneath my sternum and forehead. Okay, if the props don't work for you, don't worry about it. You could take a classical half pigeon without any props if you like. You could come all the way back onto the back and take that figure 4 shape on your back. But really the point here is, can you choose something that's going to work for you? Discern what that is without judging yourself as being good or bad at something. Can you just let yourself take what you need here? So we're going to settle into this shape for about 3 minutes. Can you let your jaw relax, muscles of the face soften, back of the neck, the throat, the shoulders, all of that. Let it be passive, let it be heavy. Take about 3 more breaths in your current position. When you're ready, you can start to release. If you're on your back in figure 4, just uncross those ankles, spend a few moments. Maybe you can windshield wiper the knees side to side. If you're coming from your half pigeon, come back to tabletop if you like. A couple rounds of cat-cow or even a downward facing dog for a moment might feel nice. And then we'll set up our second side. So that either left ankle on top of right knee or left knee forward across the top of the bolster. Then you're going to heel toe that left foot across to the right side of the mat. You're laying down to the outer edge of your left hip. You're on the top of that right thigh or hip flexor if you're using the prop. And then maybe you're setting something up underneath your sternum again and the forehead. You have props that work for that. If you don't, no worries. Again, it's not required. These are just options. So start to adjust yourself. Feel free to fidget a little bit until you get to the place where you're like, yes, I can sustain this. 3 minutes here. And sustainment in shapes like this don't mean that there isn't any discomfort. Like that kind of dull, achy, stretchy sensation. Maybe it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's hard for you to sit in that. And certainly if it's causing you to become anxious and really fidgety, then I'd recommend backing out of it and taking something else altogether. But if it's something you feel like I can breathe through this without clenching my jaw and softening my face and relaxing my fingertips and wrists and elbows, I just work with the breath and stay. Let the body be heavy. And to the best of your ability, let the bones and the muscles just melt. Deep belly breaths. About 3 more breaths here. When you're ready, you can start to back out of your shape. You can take anything you want in between sides. When you're ready for Shavasana, that's going to be our next shape, our next and last hold. And so if you want to take Shavasana from your back in that kind of classical variation, maybe something goes underneath the backs of the knees, maybe something pads the back of the head. If there's something else you're craving, please feel free to take it. And we'll start to settle in, relaxing the shoulders down the back, slightly tilting the chin towards the chest. Resting your arms in a comfortable position. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And then just gently seal the lips. Maybe they slightly part. Relaxing the back teeth, relaxing the tongue at the base of the palate. And let it go, let it rest. Shavasana. If you have more time to spare in your day, please feel free to stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. If you need to move on, begin to awaken, slowly wiggling fingertips and toes. Move the head side to side. If you're coming from your back, you could bend your knees and roll off to a side. Taking your time to press your way up to one comfortable, supported seat. Give you the option to join me for our 4-3-7 breathing for 3 rounds. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, hands resting gently in the lap. Empty all the air out. Beginning to breathe in for your own count of 4. See if you can pause gently at the top for 3. And then exhale for 7. And try that twice more. As you come to your next exhalation, just let it go. Let go of any retention, let go of any counting. If you'd like to join me in closing out your practice by bringing the hands together at the heart and bow the chin into the chest with reverence and gratitude. May we use the fruits to serve our highest good. May we share it with those around us that we love and who could use healing. May we send love and healing to all sentient beings around the world. May they be happy. May they be free. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining me today for your restorative practice. If you have any questions, you can always reach out. Email is Tessa@TessaTovar, and Tovar is with a V as in Victor, AR.com. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves, and I hope you come back again soon.